And we're at Kodak Hall at Eastman Theater with the great Derrick Trucks. Derrick, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
And how's the tour coming so far?
It's been a blast. We've been out with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings and Doyle Bramhall and our band, Tedeschi Trucks Band, for about 2.5, 3 weeks, and it's fun. I mean, just 30-something musicians on the road and 5 buses, 3 trucks. It's mayhem, but we're surviving it so far.
Make me think of the old Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs and the Englishman type of tour with Leon Russell and that whole caravan of musicians.
Yeah, that was certainly an influence when we put this band together. I remember watching that film with Susan thinking, that looks like a lot of fun. So we have 12 in our band. That was certainly an inspiration. They didn't hold it together that long. We're going to try to keep this band together for more than a year and a half. But yeah, they made some great music while they were doing it.
Yeah, they had some other factors as well that may have had an issue in keeping it together.
I'm sure there were.
They had a good time.
Also trying to avoid some of those. Some of them.
Yeah. We're speaking with Derrick Trucks here on Jazz 90.1. Derrick, you've been instrumental really keeping the blues flame alive for the next generation. Talk about the legacy of B.B. King, and as well as with the Allman Brothers, and how do we now take that torch to the next generation?
You know, it's hard to think about a world without B.B. King. Like he was just always there, you know. And he, in a lot of ways, I think he carried the torch for 70-something years, and no one else really had to do it, you know. Hendrix didn't have to do it. Clapton didn't have to do it. No one had to. So, you know, he kind of shouldered that weight for everybody. I don't think there'll ever be anybody that is going to be able to pick it up by themselves the way he did. I mean, there's not an electric guitar player that came after him that didn't model their thing or just straight steal from him. So, you know, I think it's gonna take a lot of people to kind of keep that flame going. But, you know, we were lucky to have him. He was such a sweetheart, and I mean, he was really great to Susan and me and our band, and just one of the most gracious humans you would ever meet. And I think about that a lot when we're on the road, and you see the way certain musicians deal with their life and career, and then you see someone like B.B., you're like, that's how a man does it. That's how a grown man does it. So, you know, he was a great inspiration to a lot of people for a lot of reasons. And but it's funny to think, when I think back to a lot of my guitar heroes, they had the same reverence for him that I do or Doyle does or the people on this tour. You know, Duane Allman and Clapton and Hendrix, when B.B. was around, he was the guy. So it's hard to imagine post BB life. Yeah. It's pretty early, so
I'm having a hard time grasping it myself. We're speaking with Derrick Trucks here on Jazz 90.1. So that's it with the caravan you have. How do you do it with raising a family? Because that's got to be a lot of fun for kids, but as parents, it's got to be a whole nother vibe. Or is it?
You know, our kids grew up around this, so it really is second nature. You know, every summer they're on the road with us, and they really grew up with a lot of the band members, so it's like uncles, and they've, you know, and I think for a lot of the band who have kids, it's nice having our kids around. It's not the same as being with their kids, but it's, you know, they get that feeling. But we keep that in mind too when we tour. I mean, we tour hard, especially in the summertime, but we keep in mind that there's a lot of people in the band that have families at home and aren't able to bring them on the bus. So, you know, we try to tour humanely.
That's Derrick Trucks here in Rochester tonight for a sold-out show. Again, we've always loved your music, and just in terms of, there's no boundaries to it. You can't define it as this or that. It's great music.
Beautiful. We try, you know. It's there's a lot of influences up on that stage in our band, really in Sharon's band and Doyle's. It really is a great collision of all these great musics, you know. But it's folk based. It's jazz and blues, and that's where a lot of it comes from. There's some world music sprinkled in, but it's all honest music that you have to live and learn and, you know, put your time and effort in. It's not none of it comes quickly, which I appreciate. Everybody on the stage has paid their dues and logged some serious hours.
Derrick Trucks, thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck to you and your family.
Beautiful.
Musically and biologically.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.